Starcraft Nation Broadcasting, keeping you up to date and in the know.
Welcome, citizen. I am your host, Venerati, and in today's segment, we're going to be covering the third game out of 3 in between Dimaga and Duckloadra, or White Raw as he is better known. This game does come out of the Blizzard Invitational Tournament that was held at Blizzcon this year. So, top-tier players, top-tier action. In 2 games we've seen so far, we've seen Duckloadra fall to a mutilous, zergling harassment, just basically, I'm going to roll your freaking day, that came from Dimaga. Dimaga did a good job of being a pain in the side with those mutilists, constantly harassing. Then there's really one major decisive battle, I feel, that really turned the tide in that game, as both forces had not had a really decisive clash. And then we saw those mutilists roll all of the stalkers, and basically from then on, Duckloadra was on the back pedal and was forced to basically on the defensive constantly, could not field an army to reply and had to tap out. On the second game, however, we saw them go at it at Xel'Naga Caverns. Dimaga tried an early mass zergling push. He actually did a really good job of splitting his forces up and manipulating them to try to get that perfect zergling surround. He hid the bulk of his zergling force in the upper left-hand corner behind the reeds, luring Duckloadra out. However, Duckloadra thwarted the trap by using his sentries to the fullest and actually got just basically rendered the zerglings useless as there's so many force fields down. So Dimaga, after that, basically had to backpedal as he had no economy. I believe he was actually half the economy that Duckloadra had. So what are we going to see here? We are on Lost Temple, and we see Duckloadra doing the same old, good old tactic of being a pain in the freaking side with this probe. This drone is trying to come up here, trying to build his hatchery, trying to aspire to become something special. However, we do see the pylon dropping from the probe. So good thing Dimaga went ahead and got the spawning pool, as there will require zerglings to drop that pylon with any sort of force. We do see the probe getting a little ballsy there, going to be stealing a little bit from the mineral field. Every little bit counts in this game. It's going to be going back and basically just kind of being a pain in the rear, and is going to be attacking this drone. However, we do see these other drones come up here trying to gang up on it. This probe is not dead yet, as we do see the pylon is going to fall to these zerglings, as Dimaga is getting metabolic boost right now, so not really sure if he's going to go ahead and throw down a hatch immediately after, or if he's going to try to do a little bit more of a one base like he did last time. But however, he does drop the pylon, does throw a hatchery down immediately, so it does look like he's going to see the natural. Hopefully he's going to do a better job of populating his natural than he did last time, because last time the natural wasn't populated at all by any drones for quite some time. However, let's go back over here to Duckloadra. We see him doing the same kind of doorway deal as he did the last 2 times. We do have one zealot here holding this door. This is zergling type, as these zerglings are going to be coming up here, going to see this. However, there is no stalker, there is no ranged unit, so they're going to be able to chew on this gateway with immunity. And you see him split his forces up, so if that zealot does come out here to engage the zerglings, he can run past. However, the sentry does come out in time, and instead of continuing to chew on the gateway, Dimaga chooses to back off, as this sentry would have killed a lot of those zerglings anyway. So we do see 2 more gateways coming down for Duckloadra. We do see the warp gate technology, so Duckloadra is continuing to use this really solid opener that he's used the last 2 times. So is he going to change it up a little bit? I haven't seen him use any robotics bay or anything of that nature. Haven't seen any air units whatsoever. So is he going to change it up a little bit here? As we do see very broad spawning points here. There we go. As Dimaga and Duckloadra are at the farthest points on the map, so the map could kind of lean itself to make the players go for a little bit more macro than micro, a little bit late game than early game push, as we do see the population of this mineral line starting up from Dimaga. Dimaga bringing up a lot more drones, going ahead and throwing down some spine crawlers, so we might see another Maginot line from Dimaga. As, oh yes, he is going to have at least 3 spine crawlers here. So Dimaga is once again going to rely on the spine crawlers for his defense right now. This could, however, backfire on him, because this ledge can be compromised by a single observer and stalkers with blink. So not sure if Duckloadra is going to break away from what he's been doing and going to go for that. If he does, he could use it to his great advantage and could really wrap things up quickly for himself. Now, we do see Duckloadra coming out, and he's going to be popular, or going to throw down this Nexus. It actually has been there for quite some time. It is halfway done. Great placement of this Overlord, by the way. Let's go ahead and see if Duckload can actually see it. Oh, does he see it? No, he does not see that. That is really sneaky. So, Dimaga is going to be able to keep an eye out on Duckload, and likewise, oppositely, Duckload can't do anything. And we do see Duckload going ahead and throwing down the ground weapons level 1, immediately chrono boosting it out. So he might see some 4-gate action from him with the timing of that weapon, though I do doubt it because he is actually getting the Nexus there. Probably going to be going for at least a 5-gate push. And we do see a Spire coming online for Dimaga, so Dimaga looks like he's going to be doing the same thing that won him the first game, as we do see a very robust defensive line, as this Phallic Defense Force is going to be sizing up to be very, very formidable. And the Spire, I mean, he's basically just digging in once again, and is going to be gritting his teeth and trying to create some sort of formidable air force here, as we do actually see Duckloadra moving out ever so slightly. Not an impressive force, but it is definitely could be threatening if he did not have the spine crawlers down here. And we do see 2 more spine crawlers coming online for Dimaga. Duckloadra is going to be pushing it, is going to be able to see that. However, we do see these 2 Zerglings running up here, going to be trying to run into the middle line. Will they be able to get into it? Yes, but there's only 4 Zerglings, so it's really not that big a deal. Will we see any probes go down? We see 1. Will we see 2 go down? Maybe a third, maybe a third. Yes, we see a third. Will we see a 4th? Oh, we see a 4th. And the Zerglings go ahead and start turning on the Stalker. So now the Zerglings went ahead and paid for themselves. So either way, nice little bit, using what forces Dimaga has just to be a pain in the side, trying to keep Duckloadra off balance at every single turn. Now, we do see Twilight Council coming down, so are we going to see legs, or are we going to see blink? I'm going to say blink, as legs wouldn't be really that effective charging the Zerglings, as the Zerglings are charging you already, so it doesn't really matter. However, let's see, we do have a Nidus Swarm. Whoa, Nidus Network coming down, so might see some trickery from Dimaga. Dimaga could go in the dark recesses of this base, pop a Nidus Swarm, flood out some Zerglings, just rape that mineral line, or he could throw a Nidus Swarm up here, throw some drones, and then put some Spine Crawlers up here, as these Spine Crawlers do have range to hit that Nexus. So Dimaga looks like he's going to be doing a little bit of trickery here. And let's see, what do we have else going on for? We do have Air Weapons 1 coming online for him, so he's going to be upgrading these Mutilas, making them that much more dangerous. Not only are they already insanely mobile, but now they're going to have that much more DPS. As we have already had Ground Weapons level 1 finishing up for Duckloadra, and Duckloadra is going to be expanding to the high yield right here. Now, we do see a Nidus Swarm coming here for the being spotted by the Mutilas. Look at that, baby. Oh, yeah, that's hot stuff right there. So, Dimaga actually not being necessarily tricky on the offensive with this Nidus Swarm, but he is being tricky with his expansion, as he is going to be taking the island expansions, which is going to give him that much more of a defensive, or that much more of a defense, as these Stalkers, although they do have blink and they can span, I believe they can span this gap. If they I know they can span this gap if they have the spotting for it. However, it's still going to be harder for him to get his forces over there, as we are going to have the Mutilas. The Mutilas will be able to defend relatively effectively here, as he is only going to be able to get a few over here at a time. So Dimaga is going to be going for a mid to late game build here, it looks like, as he is just massing up and is going to, Dimaga's sitting pretty right now. How he is attacking the high yield here. Dimaga using the Mutilas once again in a very effective manner, being a pain in the rear. Duckload forced to basically just be in a reactionary position, as he is going to be able to pop a lot of drones here. We see several go down right there, 2 or 3. So Dimaga, once again, these Mutilas, oh, they're so annoying. I mean, I hate going up against a player that can really utilize these Mutilas, as they're so quick. I mean, they can run a 3.75. I think it's one of the quicker units. I know it's one of the quicker air units. And Dimaga is going to be getting the air attack level 2. He's bringing down 2 Evo chambers, so going to be beefing up his Zerglings, it appears. And let's go take a look at the units tab. We have 14 Mutilas in the sky for Dimaga versus Duckload's 21 Stalkers. So Dimaga's kind of sitting pretty, as we do have a slight Stalker advantage here, but can you deploy all those Stalkers effectively? And in that manner, as these Mutilas are going to be able to move around and basically be able to pick at the edge. You know, pop a pylon there, pop a pylon there, pop a pylon there. Blam! 300 minerals. You just won using the Mutalisk. Hopefully, not taking any damage. We do see a awesome. How often do you see a drone transfer from a Nidus Storm? Not often enough. That's pretty awesome. And we do see Queen going to be populating that hatchery, her little island paradise. And we do see the Mutalisk coming into this natural mineral line once again. Not many Stalkers here to do anything about it, as we do see several drones dying to this, trying to skitter away. The Mutalisk are going to be focus firing down these warping units, as they do take double damage, so they are going to be going down very, very fast. Now we do see the Mutalisk almost thinking about going in the main right there. We see two very brave Stalkers going to be bouncing away, trying to ball up here, as we do actually have Duckloadra is in the main of Dimaga. Dimaga in a lot of trouble right here, as we do see the Falcon Defense Force trying to deploy up here. I really believe that he should have kept them down here, as we should ball up and try to attack in the most advantageous. Wow, this is really bad for Dimaga, as we do see Duckloadra focusing on all of these Mutalisks right here. He does not have any sort of Zergling reinforcements to soak up this damage here. These Mutalisks are in a lot of hurt. Will there be enough Mutalisks? We do see the Queen coming up here, trying to add his firepower, as we see the Spinecrawler desperately trying to claw at these Stalkers. There's so many Stalkers, and there are no more Mutalisks, as we saw all the Mutalisks just drop for Dimaga. So, Dimaga is in a bad position right here, because his main is going to be compromised. Actually, he does GG out. I felt that Dimaga, he might have had a chance. Good sportsmanship, but I really feel that Dimaga, with his little island nations, he could have tried to do it. I don't know. Would have been slim to none. But hey, I mean, you're in a tournament. You got to fight to the bitter end. Either way, great game, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Great PvZ action. We saw the Mutalisks fall to those Stalkers, as the basically we had a little bit of Maginot Line, and Duckloadra was definitely the Germans in this instance, as they came here and pillaged. Look at those broodlings coming out there. Either way, I enjoyed that. Hope you did. Let me know what you think about the videos. Thumbs up if you do. Thumbs down if you don't. If you like what you see, you can always subscribe and become a citizen for free. And that's pretty much all I have to say for right now. So, as always, citizens, stay safe.